Hi, I'm Miss Dara from the Rogers Public Library, and today we're doing crafts for Homeschool Explorers. So, out of your April package, you're going to need the stuff for Mexico. So, you should have a Mexico coloring sheet, a mask, a piñata, and there's a bag with piñata supplies, and there's also some strings down in there. So, the strings are for this mask, and you can just tape them on or punch holes and put them on. So in order to do it, to put it together, you first have to cut it out. So let's cut it out real quick here. And you just cut all those outside lines. And then you need to cut the slits in here. And the next thing you need to do is cut out the eye holes. So you just fold it a little bit, cut your slit in it. And cut around. I'm just trying to stay on that line as I'm cutting. And if you need an adult to help you cut it out, that's always an option. I might do the other one. And there you go, there's eyes. So next you'll want to color this, and then you'll want to tape it or glue it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this here for each of those where they say glue. And if you want to just glue it, you'll need to get like some clothespins or even paper clips or something and hold this while you're doing it. But I'm not going to wait for it. I'm going to go ahead and just tape it so that you can see the next craft that we're doing. So I'm just going to tape around that edge so that it holds it. I'll do the next one. So you just fold that to the line there, stick tape over that edge. And then the last one. But you want to color this first before you do that. Then you get you a couple pieces of tape. Take your yarn here and tape it to the inside. Like that, so that when you put this on, you can tie it on. All right, so there you go. That's how you do that mask. So you have your yarn, nice colored mask. There you go. So the other craft that we're going to do today is a piñata. So this is a piñata, and I'm going to do the cool part here. If you pull this, it makes a nice mess. And there's actually, it fell out, but there's actually candy in it. So here we go. Let me clean up my work area here just a little bit. Okay. So let's put all of our stuff over to the side here. And the first thing we're going to do is cut out our piñata. So you're just cutting out the outside, and be careful while you're cutting not to cut into that blue square that's over here. Okay, so there's that. And as you notice on this one, that still has candy and stuff in it, it has a square come out of the bottom. So you're going to need to cut that square. So we're going to fold it just slightly and make that slit, kind of like how we do the eyes. And if you didn't get it quite straight, you can always trim it afterwards, like I'm doing here. But there you go. So I have a square. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold on the black lines. And you can either fold these up so that the bottom is white, or you can do it blue like this here. So I'm going to do it like that and fold it up right on those lines. Try to fold that. And it's not the easiest to fold, but you can do it. Okay, then you fold in these where the dotted lines are. This is what you're going to glue this together. Okay, so out of this, we're going to want to cut that blue square out because that is our bottom. Okay, set that off to the side. Okay, the next thing that we're going to want to do is get our bag of stuff. Okay. So there's your candy. Don't eat it. Set it to the side for later. And then we're going to take these pieces here. So if you notice, there's 4 red ones. And 1, 2, 3, 4 white ones in this one. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow ones. And there are 8 orange ones. So the orange ones, you're going to take 4 of those away. And take one of these yellow ones away. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and you're going to take these and roll these up kind of like this. And we're going to cut slits in them. And you want to cut it up almost to the top, but not all the way. So I cut that in those folds where I folded it. I'm going to fold it back together. And I'm going to cut some slits in here. Make sure you don't cut all the way through. So that it ends up looking like this. So I'm going to fold this around like this. And this is how I made this piece here. So that's this here. All we're going to do is do a yellow one around it. So the yellow one I'm going to do the same way. We're just going to take this and I'm going to glue kind of in a couple spots in here just to kind of glue it together a little bit. And then if you just take this one, stick some glue on the outside of this, and wrap this around it. Oops, I forgot a step. So we're going to take our yarn here, just get a piece of it and stick it down inside here. And you just need one sticking to me layer there. Okay, so then take your glue and wrap this around. And there you go. And you can just kind of spread it out a little bit to make it look really cool. So there's your little tassel. Okay, so now these, what we're going to do is do the same thing. We're going to cut them just like we did the other. So, but you don't need to cut them as small as strips as you did the others. So I'm just going to cut a few. And I'm going to do that with all 4 colors here. Be careful not to tear this because this stuff is really easy to tear. All right, so now I have all 4 colors. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and start layering these on here. So you can do it any way you want to layer it, but you just stick a strip of glue down, and you can use regular glue or a glue stick works really good too. If you use regular glue like this, be really careful when you're doing it not to get too much on because it's kind of wet and you don't want it to be wet or else it will just mess all this up. So you just layer this on here. Okay. Okay, so as you see, it's really sticking off the edges here. So what you're going to do, it's got this fold here. You want to fold this under, and then you're going to want to just run your scissors here and cut those off. And then do the other side the same way. Okay. Okay, and if you notice there's a couple spots here where it cut off a few pieces that it should have left on here. You can add those back in there if you want to. Put that upside down. Just glue them back on however you want to do yours. So there you go. That's how you do that. So you're going to do that on all 4 sides. And then once you get all 4 sides done, I'm not going to do that. You're going to want to take this, your other piece of string, and glue it on the inside. You can glue it or tape it on the inside here. One to one side and the other end over here to the other side. And then you're going to glue your sides together. And you might want to let it dry before you do this after you've done all 4 sides here, because they're a little, if you used regular glue, they're a little bit soft. That's why glue stick works better for that. So you just glue these on. And I'm not finishing all 4 sides because you do them all just the same way. Okay, before you put this final one in, you've got another step here. So you're going to take this and you're going to either glue or tape your string. You can either punch a hole in this or you can just tape it to the bottom. I'm just going to tape it. I'm going to make a nice little curly Q here to make it look interesting, and take my tape here that's clear. And stick it over that. So that it's hanging down like that. So you're going to stick this through the bottom hole without tearing it. And then stick this in the bottom. Then you can go ahead and glue your sides on together. And if you don't think it's holding good enough or something, you can always tape those sides. But that's how you do the piñata. And before you glue that side together all the way, you can stick in here, after you put the bottom in, you can stick in the candy. And if you want to do the little bitty pieces like I did to make confetti, you just take all of your extra little pieces of crepe paper, kind of roll that up, and just cut it into your thing. And it'll make confetti there for you. All right, so there's my one-sided little piñata here. But you guys get the idea. That's how you do it. So it will look like this with your little string coming down. All right, so there you go, guys. That's our 2 crafts for today. Thank you. Bye-bye.